Welcome to the channel. The topic of today's video, Isis, the goddess who made the first mummy out of her husband. In this video we will talk about the goddess Isis, who she is and what she symbolized in Egyptian mythology. How she resurrected her murdered husband Osiris, made him into the first mummy, and conceived a child. Learn what Isis looked like and why she was considered the main goddess of Egypt. Isis was the ancient Egyptian mother of the gods and the blood sister and consort of Osiris. Usually portrayed as a woman seated on a throne, with a headband and huge outstretched wings protecting Egypt and its people. She is sometimes considered the personification of the throne, and her knees the throne of all Egypt. The myth of Isis and Osiris. As Osiris's wife, Isis helped him elevate Egypt by teaching women to grind grain, spin, and weave. She also taught people how to cure diseases and created the marriage ritual. Isis was considered the ideal of femininity and fidelity. She patronized women in childbirth and protected children. When Osiris left Egypt and traveled, Isis wisely ruled the country in his absence. When Isis learned that Osiris had been killed by his brother the god Seth, Isis was beside herself with grief. She cut off her hair, put on a mourning robe and went in search of her dead husband's body. People told her that they had seen Osiris' body floating toward the sea downstream on the Nile. Then it was brought ashore under a beautiful tree on the shore of Byblos in Lebanon. The tree began to grow so fast that soon the coffin with the body was inside its trunk. When the king of Byblos heard about the unusual tree, he had it cut down and taken to his palace, where it was used to make a central column that supported the roof of the palace. The news of the unusual column spread throughout Egypt. Isis immediately guessed what had happened and hurried to Byblos, where having changed her appearance she sat down in the center of the city at a well. When the queen's maids came to fetch water, Isis braided their hair, giving it such a pleasant fragrance that the queen sent for the stranger and even appointed her as her child's nurse. Isis told the queen who she was and asked that the column be given to her so that she could return to her homeland and mourn her husband. Her request was complied with, and she finally received Osiris' body. The goddess took it back to Egypt and hid it in a swamp located in the Nile Delta. However, Seth found him and after chopping the body into 14 pieces, he ordered them to be scattered all over the country. With the help of the other gods, Isis managed to collect all the parts of the body except for the phallus, which was swallowed by a fish. In one version of the myth, Isis then assembled Osiris' body. The phallus had to be fashioned out of clay and added to the assembled body. Using her magic and the power of healing, as well as Anubis' secret knowledge of mummification, she was able to bring Osiris back to life by creating the first mummy from him. Before Osiris went to the underworld, Isis conceived a child from him. She turned into a bird, spread her wings over the mummy of Osiris and with a magical incantation conceived a child. Isis' popularity in Egypt and beyond was so great that she eventually absorbed the qualities of almost all the other goddesses. Isis was the mother of the gods and the goddess of the underworld. She was worshipped for more than 3,000 years, from the 3rd millennium BC until the formation of Christianity. And then many of the symbols of her cult were passed on to the cult of the Virgin Mary. Such is the role of the goddess Isis in the history not only of ancient Egypt, but also in the development of world mythology and religion. We hope you liked this video. Like it and subscribe to our channel.